You know what it did? It made me feel like I now understand why Quentin Tarantino doesn't want to make that final film. He doesn't want this to be his legacy. You know what I mean? Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Podcast Assemble, the show where you come for your rambling geeky download. My name's Tommy, and I am delighted, as always, to be joined by my friend and co-host who is across the pond. He's got his London mug today, guys. It's DL. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. It's actually my Vienna Magical Christmas mug that Gail got us
on
on our
looks that.
Magical Christmas Market excursion.
You're making me think of our Christmas episode where we talked about in Bruges. He's having a magical time.
I think it is a Christmas movie. I think that qualifies.
I think it qualifies as a Christmas movie. We did.
Definitely a Christmas movie for me.
Same with Die Hard. We acknowledge that's also a Christmas movie, even though we got a lot of hate in the comments, I believe, from memory.
Yeah.
I'm good. Sure I'm good, mate. I'm good. Better than the Sydney winter. It's gotten cold here all of a sudden. You know it's getting cold when I start bringing out the cardigans. You know I love a cardigan.
Cold.
I'm all about those layers.
It does get odd. Like you forget how cold it gets in Sydney. Like especially like
and the buildings aren't made for it.
Yeah, and in spring when you come out and you're like, oh, there's sun. But as soon as you're in shade, it's like freezing.
Like, whoa. Hold on.
I mean, it's clearly not as cold as other places. Your body acclimates, though, to the summer, I think, for sure.
Didn't you guys have like 40-degree weather recently? Weren't you just like melting in London?
Bro, yeah, this apartment became a sauna. I had to go to the office every day just for the AC. It was so fucked.
It's like you're back in Melbourne.
I didn't, dude, it's similar. I didn't sleep for like 3 days, like, because it was just sweat.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a bummer. And we can't keep the doors and windows open because we have the cats. So like,
shit, they're gonna run away.
Escape from Fort Knox, you know. And
I love that. They're getting all the free shit with you guys, and they're like, you know what we could do? We could run away here, guys. It's like, what are you talking about? Get back.
You know what we could do? We could suicide ourselves from the top floor of the fucking building. Yeah, it's like, why, dude? Why?
After watching the movie we're talking about today, I did feel like doing that for a good couple of days afterwards. Not gonna lie.
Maybe they saw a couple rounds of Disaster Day.
Maybe they saw the trailers for Disclosure Day and they went, "Fuck this."
The trailer I was not opposed to. It was mainly
Dude, I was jazzed for this. I'm sure we talked about this when we either did our most excited for of the year or we were just talking about things we were excited about. And I was I'm not going to get too far into it because we've got a lot to talk about. But I was jazzed, man. I was jazzed. Jazz hands.
It's a cool movie concept, you know.
30 years ago.
I just don't understand. I just don't think like for alien movies. I think the more you reveal, the more it just like loses its effect. Like that's the new age alien thing. Like that's like that should be like.
It all looks like AI anyway.
Yeah, that should be like the core tenet of any like AI movies. Like how much are we gonna actually say? How much are we gonna be prescriptive? Yeah, and it's just like they do everything here. So it's
they do everything. Yeah. Everyone's already seen this film, but we're not going to ruin it just yet. But like this had me feeling like, do you remember the Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull movie? It had me big feels of that at the end. I was like, oh,
I don't really remember that movie that much, but I just remember Sheila.
You're the lucky one.
Yeah.
Guys, if you want to jump around while we're chatting shit, feel free to. There will be time codes in the description, as always, supplied by Miss Ava Ramshaw of www.avaramshaw.com. She's fantastic. Her editing work is brilliant. That's the only reason why we sound or look good. But there will be time codes, as always, supplied by her below. And while you're down there, give us a like, a comment, a 5-star. The things that help us with algorithms, stuff we don't really understand. DL, I'm getting that out of the way so I can ask you, what have you been up to?
Dude, I've been traveling. I went to like Ingolstadt, Germany, which was a nice little trip. Ingolstadt.
Where that was going. Okay, all right.
Hour outside of Munich. Great little excursion where my flight was delayed.
What are you doing in Ingolstadt?
I was on site at a customer.
But it was. Right. I thought you were going to be like, I was there for the German beer.
Dude, I didn't even. What I was going to say is I didn't even get to have a fucking beer. I didn't have a brat. I didn't have
not even an airport beer.
What do you call the Munich ones? The white ones? I didn't have one of those. I was just like in and out for this like event and a meeting, and my flight was so delayed. First of all, the storm. Literally, it was like outside. You couldn't see anything.
Like now,
I was landing. I was so, but it's like it was like cloud, like, you know what I mean? Like storm weather, where you're just like, I can't, how do we land?
How do they see?
Yeah. I know it's fly by wire, but like still. And
no wonder they lost Malaysia Airlines flight, whatever it was.
Yeah, it was scary. And then it was like a 1 a.m.er when we landed because we were so delayed. It took me like 30 minutes to get to my hotel. Hotel's online check-in is broken. And my flight was delayed, so I didn't think I was going to need online check-in because like I was like supposed to get there 4 hours before.
It's another classic DL rant, everybody. He's back. Yeah. He's back. We've got the ranting back.
Thankfully, the like cab guy was very nice. He's like, I can find you another hotel. Like, we're in the middle, and Ingolstadt is not like this populous center, right? Like, there wasn't
never heard of it. So I'm like, what, is it like a little street of England in Germany somewhere? Well, like, what are we talking about?
No, that's
that's what it sounds like.
Ingolstadt, yeah, maybe.
Ingolstadt.
Like, we found me another hotel, so no, I got there, but it was just like a crazy day. So, point being, like, I didn't watch anything, but I've been reading the second book in the 3-body problem called Dark Forest or something, and it's getting finally good. It was a tough. The first half was tough. I got halfway through, and now it's finally like, okay, I'm starting to like it. But it's definitely not as good as the first one so far, which is surprising because a lot of people told me it's their favorite one, for me at least.
Oh, honestly. Wow. Maybe it's ramping up. Maybe it's got a strong end.
Maybe. But yeah, I've been doing that, watching a lot of World Cup. Don't tell me what happened.
Ooh. Oh, well, actually, we never said Happy 4th of July. I totally forgot. The one thing about this World Cup, this isn't any spoilers, this is just me talking in generalizations. The one thing about this World Cup that concerns me is there is only one thing I can think that is worse than the French inevitably winning it, because we all know
they look so good.
This will be told by even by French people. French people winning things makes them even worse. The one thing that could be worse than that is if the US win.
To do. Yeah. I mean, the US. I think that's nice of you to say. We're playing well, but not that well.
Did you hear that Donald Trump apparently got in touch with the FIFA president and got him to rescind the red card for one of the players?
But to be honest, it wasn't a fucking
corruption.
Red, but it wasn't
corruption.
Red, but also, like, Donald Trump, just stop. Like, stop.
Please.
Because now if we win, everyone's going to say that it was because of that, and it's just obviously not going to be because of that. But
I think it is.
I don't think we're going to win.
But you're also not going to win, so it's all
I don't think we're going to win, so it's kind of irrelevant. But did you see the actual play? It wasn't.
Yeah, I think I did. I mean, they're being very strict in this World Cup. They're being super
Messi like did the exact same thing intentional, and the guy like fell over, and Messi was looking at him, and he didn't even get a yellow. So my point
Messi's
is
allowed.
My point is, this guy didn't even see the guy. He was behind him playing on the ball. Like,
that's even worse. You can't be behind a guy making a tackle.
No. The other guy was behind him. Yeah.
I'm only playing with you, man. You've got a lot to catch up on from today. I've recently bought a one of these fitness rings. I don't know if you've
Aura ring
ever used one. It's not the Aura, so I did the maths, and the Aura, it has one of those stupid monthly subscription fees you got to pay. This one doesn't. This one is slightly less high tech in the info it gives you. So it gives you the same amount of information, but doesn't tell you what to do with it. But it doesn't have the subscription fee, which I'm fine with, being from Yorkshire. For anyone who does know me, I'm from Yorkshire. And there is a very clear peak around the time of the England and Mexico game today where my stress goes like this. I was like, ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
So
I don't want to talk about it.
I
don't
want
to
catch
talk
up on.
All I'll say is only 2 teams have ever, at my knowing at this moment, because I know something else has happened since this at 1 a.m. and I was not going to stay up 2 nights in a row. Only one other team. Yeah. Only 2 teams have beat the Mexico City in the Azteca, right, in the World Cup, which is a pretty wild stat. Anyway,
I don't know how long that stadium's been there, but I mean, that, like, if that, it won't slip, I'm going to be good. That's a hard stat. If, for example, it depends. You go one of 2 ways. If the stadium was built last year, pretty easy to do. But if it's like 100 years old,
I think it's like old enough that on the international stage, that's a meaningful number. Yeah, but it's partially due to obviously the atmosphere. Like Mexico, they ride or die for football, and then
of course,
I think the air it's very high what do you call
Yeah,
that?
it is the altitude. You good over there, mate? It's early morning for you.
It's morning for me. Sorry.
It's not that early though. 7:20. You're all right.
I don't know. I got to bed. I didn't sleep well. It was again another hot night. But and you know what I did? I took a melatonin, and it was like it didn't kick in until late, and so I'm just
Killer.
But
so it's still in your system. Well, I've been watching a lot of the World Cup, dude. Like, cause it's on for once, it's on at a good time here. So like my morning, basically, right from when I wake up, right through till about lunchtime here.
Yeah, it's
prime soccer time. So I've just got it on in the background all the time. Yeah, it's the only time we've had it over here. It's been so good. I've been having a lot of that on. But there is a couple. I tell you a thing that we did recently. I say we. I'm bringing back an old favorite of the show, which is I started to watch a show in the periphery that my partner was watching and ended up watching it with her. Have you heard of Four Seasons? Have you heard of that show?
Yeah, I'm on this. We're on the second season.
Okay, right. We just finished the second season. I remember watching the first season with her maybe a year ago, like sort of, again, periphery, not really paying deep attention, but I knew it was on and I could see it was Steve Carell and I was like, oh yeah, I like that guy. And then I watched the last couple of episodes and all that cool shit happens in the last couple of episodes. For anyone who hasn't seen it, I'm not going to spoil it here, but it's good. Give it a go.
Yeah.
And
it's good writing.
Yeah, we watched the second season and I really like the music. It's so rogue. It's so like at odds with the like tone of the show, but in like a good way. It's like really big orchestral sound, and you're sitting there like, this is so different to like the sort of light humor. Yeah, but it really works for some reason. Maybe it's the gravitas that like those actors bring to it. I think it's just got a really fun dynamic between people who feel like they actually know each other, even though I know they're acting. It's good. I like it. Do you guys enjoying it?
Yeah. We really like it. I won't repeat everything you say because I agree. What do you think about how what's the Italian husband's name? Claude or something?
Oh, I forget his name. He's great. Yeah, it's
Claude. Isn't he just like Gale reincarnated as a gay man?
Oh my God, so much. Now you've said it.
We were both. I was just like thinking it like instantly. I was thinking it like instantly, and I was like looking at her, and I could see her just like kind of slowly coming to the same realization herself. And I was like, "Does he remind you of anyone?"
What did she say?
She's like, "He's me." Like, which is like. Hilarious. Honestly, he's my favorite character, so it adds up. You know,
he's the best. He's absolutely the best. He gets a lot of playtime towards the end of the season. I think you'll maybe change your mind a little bit. It's good. I like it. I really like Coleman Domingo, who is also in this film we're talking about today.
Yeah, what a tough role for him in this one. He's awesome.
Damn, he's so good, and he's so good in Four Seasons. Like that role is made.
Stylist is just like fucking phenomenal. Is he picking his outfits, or is
absolute fire? The guy, he's always got a little hat on. I love his little hats. He's always like, I love a hat. He's always got a little hat on. I was like, this fucking guy. It's so good. I really like the who's the husband who is just like the nicest guy of all time.
That guy bugs me so much.
He bugs me too, but in like a kind of Ted Lasso kind of way. Like
he's supposed to bug you.
Like,
yeah, he's doing his job. Yeah.
But he does it really well. I really like his character. And
great show.
I feel like it does a lot of emotional growth for adults, which is not something that I feel often gets really highlighted in too many shows that well.
Super, you're spot on. And I was trying to figure out why I like it. And I think it is like obviously just good acting, good concept. Like you're always on holiday. It's like a fun thing. Basically the concept of the show is like every season this group of friends goes on some kind of little holiday together, and it like follows
it's a holiday for one of the four seasons.
So
it's 8 episodes, and there's 2 episodes for like spring and then summer, and then so they go away together all the time.
But I think you're right, you nailed it. I couldn't really put my finger on it, but it's the way I described it was like it just feels like I'm watching like a show about probably the next 10 years of my life, or like 15 years of my life, and like and it's really engaging. And it's like that, and that's kind of cool, you know. But I didn't really put it together that it's like it is like late, like middle-aged adults, kind of not being just cranky like my way that like they're having to change, and they're having to like face change and
growing
with it.
together.
And I think, I think it's a cool little show. I like it. I hope they do more.
I agree. I hope so too. I think it says when you finish the season, I think it says they're coming back for season 3. So that's good.
Seems like one that they could do 3 or 4, maybe 5, and then run out of shit to do.
I think there's enough for 4 seasons. You know what I mean? Like there's each character has a little bit to do, and then it's a bit like what we were talking about. What show were we talking about? Maybe Stranger Things, where they just ran out of. They'd done all of the character growth, so they had to manufacture other stuff. So I really enjoyed that show, dude. It's really good. I also really enjoyed. Highly recommend. Go away and check that out if you out there haven't seen it. I also finished watching that new Spider-Man noir show. Have you seen that? Have you heard of that?
So I started to watch it, and I was just like, I can't do this. And then you know what I did? I switched from because it was just too campy, and I just couldn't do it.
Oh, I loved it. It's great.
I just maybe it'll be good. It wasn't my mood at that moment.
Sure.
I was like, I can't handle you, Nicolas Cage, and I pivoted back to Deadwood, and I've been rewatching Deadwood.
That's like the 3rd time for you,
dude. 2nd time, but. And I've never seen the movie because I'm like almost like too scared to watch it because I don't want it to ruin my experience of it. But it's apparently good, but I just don't want it to ruin my viewing of Deadwood. But yeah, Deadwood is honestly one of the best shows ever made. It's insane.
Funnily enough, speaking of movies from shows, we were sitting and the partner was like, let's watch that Peaky Blinders movie. And I'm like, we haven't watched the show. Why would we watch the movie? That doesn't make sense. And she's like, oh, and I'm like, well, why don't we, let's just say we're going to watch the show first. And she's like, okay, great. And now we haven't watched the fucking show, obviously.
Well, that show's slow but good. Very slow.
Yeah, I mean,
you've never watched any of it?
Stupid story here. I have watched the first series maybe 2 or 3 times. So when I was traveling, when I was in South America, I've traveled, Dale. I've done travel.
Yes. Well,
when I was in South America. Well, there's a thing you do a lot when you travel, and it's like a rainy day like today it is here, which is you often are in a hostel with a bunch of people, and sometimes some of them will offer you ways to relax, which potentially in some countries aren't necessarily that legal, and people will sit around and enjoy themselves and get very relaxed in a specific atmosphere. And we had 3 rainy days in a row, and we watched the first season of Peaky Blinders 3 times because we forgot we'd put it on.
Because you were that relaxed.
We were that relaxed. We were having that good a time.
Wow.
Yeah, I think the first time we watched it, and then the next day someone was like, oh, I've never seen that. We're like, oh, I'd watch the first season with you again. So we watched the first season again, and the day after it was raining, and then we just watched it again. because we were idiots.
It's a dense show, though, to be fair. You can't
actually
like catch on things that you missed. But no, I think... What do you think about the Spider-Man noir you were saying, and I cut you off with my Deadwood story?
No, I see where you're coming from. You kind of need to be in the right mood for it, right? Like it's a show whereby you've got to be ready for like a weird Nicolas Cage performance. It's not your grandpappy Spider-Man. Yeah. You've got to be ready for that, and it's going to be. Look, I like all the characters. I like they've tried something different. It's not that classic. Spider-Man's crying because Uncle Ben's dead. There's so much going on here, and I love the setting. I love the costumes. Like, I can get over the bad CGI in places. It's very clearly not Nicolas Cage doing a lot of the stuff in the spider costume, very clearly. And you just ignore that stuff. You just get on and enjoy the show. And I kind of liked seeing a different take on that character in a weird 50s, 40s environment. I don't know. It's after the World War, so something around that region.
I'll probably get to it some point. I'm more excited for the new Spider-Man with these trailers, man.
Yeah, it's coming out soon, eh? That might be our next. Oh no, our next one will be the Odyssey, right?
Yeah, back to the. Yeah, well, Odyssey for sure, and then I got Moana on the calendar because Gil's already flagged that as a must-watch, and then
we can have that.
I'll probably try and watch. Troy before, but that's like on HBO.
We actually watched that the other night. Interestingly, we took us.
Should we do that one before the Odyssey?
Because we kept falling. I don't think we're gonna have time because we have the Odyssey's coming out like next week now. And then saying that, I tried to look at tickets to watch it in IMAX, and it's sold out 2 weeks in advance, completely gone. Yeah. No Odyssey tickets available.
The IMAX thing, like, I appreciate that. Like, I should like it. I go to this IMAX; it's like £25.
Yeah, it's expensive.
I don't really feel like it's that different.
Worth 25. So we just got a new TV randomly. Like, as you have to at times, and it's big. Like from where our sofa is, it like fills your vision. You know the way like IMAX is supposed to. And I'm like, we could just get IMAX movies and watch it on this. Like it's big.
I just don't get what is it like a quality thing? What is the IMAX?
I think it's just taller, right? Like it gives you more like height. So like you keep the width, but you get more height to it. So it gives you more film, DL. Bigger film.
It has nothing to do with like how it's filmed and how that. I'm sure it does.
Well, I mean, it has to. Well, I mean, they have to take that into account, right? They like every shot has to be taller, and every shot they can fit more into. So, and I'm pretty sure they have to
for
on a
IMAX
specific type of film as well that allows for that.
Okay,
but like I don't know, like it's the same film. Have you seen the film?
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna
now that have like the side bits as well. Have you seen those?
No,
they're fucking mad, dude. I don't think I could deal with it. Like, so you've got your screen, and then the walls have screens too. So you've got like it comes at you. It's like fucking 3D shit coming at all angles, dude. I just want to see a film.
Go to a normal theater, but you know, I do want to hear your thoughts on Troy eventually. So we will watch it ahead of watching.
Oh, maybe we talk about it as what we've been up to before we talk about the Odyssey. Yeah, pre-Odyssey. You know, I had fun, but like I say, we watched it over 4 nights. It took a while.
It is a long movie, isn't it? It's like 3 hours.
Longer than you remember it being. Yeah, it goes. I am a little concerned about the Odyssey. I've seen a few reviewers saying that it might not be Chris Nolan's best work. So I don't know, man. I'm going in with limited expectations, I think.
I'm going up with like immensely excited and unbelievably hyped expectations. So in the middle, we will find truth. You're
the polar opposite.
I fucking love like ancient Greek.
Same.
And like I remember having to read the Odyssey multiple times growing up. And the Iliad, to be fair. And I just think it's like such a perfect it's such a perfect thing, like what's the word? Content, whatever, source material for a modern kind of like almost like a Northman style movie that has more plot to it than the Northman, where you like integrate the mythology in a way that could be like really hype and just like understated but cool. And I really hope that I'm not disappointed, but I probably will be because of how excited I am for this. So
I'm trying to lower my expectations for everything these days. That sounds really bad, I realize. Like, I like being surprised by things. Yeah. And the more hype I get about movies, the more they're probably going to let me down. So I'm just like,
also,
it'll be all right.
Fuck reviewers, so.
We're semi-review. I don't know, fuck what we are. We do silly podcasts. I would recommend Spider-Man Noir if you want to go away and check it out. We can talk about that in a couple of weeks. Guys, if you want to send anything you've been watching, listening to, reviewing, send us memes, send us reviews, send us things so we can talk about them. We love it when you do. You can find us at Podcast Assemble on Instagram, TikTok. You can find us at thepodcastassemble@gmail.com. Send us stuff. We love it when you do. DL, should we talk about this main topic?
It's the main topic theme.
Yeah, I guess we should.
Let's do it, baby.
We watched
Disaster Day. Disclosure Day. It's
it's a movie.
I'm assuming we're gonna do non-spoilers, then a little bit of spoilers at the end.
I guess.
But I think my feelings towards this are going to be very clear very quickly.
There were some good acting performances.
No, incorrect.
There was.
Coleman Domingo was fantastic. You're right, absolutely. This is obviously Steven Spielberg. He's back, baby, and everyone has been hyping this as the return of Steven Spielberg. He's back to Aliens. He's back. He's the best. And I'm going to start with a question for you, DL, before we even kick off, which is Steven Spielberg done?
I think maybe. Yeah, I think maybe he is. Well, I don't know if he's done, but what I'll say is I think that everyone wants him to have this great like last movie, you know, that like touches on the greatness of his past catalog. Like, what's the latest great movie he's like done that was like?
I mean, let's look. Let's find out.
I think like everybody wants him to close it out because like some of Steven Spielberg's
I agree.
like best movies are like my favorite. Or like some of my favorite movies are Steven Spielberg's like early catalog. But I just don't know. I'm going to answer your question with a question, which is like probably not, because Tommy, I don't know, and maybe you do. Can a movie be made in 2026 that has Steven Spielberg's earnest sentiment and be taken seriously? Like I don't think we're in an age where like the earnesty that is so central to his like creative muscle.
Love that for you.
Like it's a really earnest. It's really earnestness. Sorry. He's a really like earnest film. Like his message is always like super like hopeful and like like everything's good, and we get like, and I don't. It's not that like every movie needs to be negative. I just think that perspective is hard to like sell to a 2026 audience. Everyone's too jaded.
100% agreed. 100%. We'll talk.
That wasn't a
about
question. I said it was going to be a question.
No. I agree with your question. Yes. Let's go back quickly. And so let me go through his last few movies. You stop me when you think there's one that you like, and I'll stop when there's one that I think I liked.
Cool.
Disclosure Day, The Fabelmans, West Side Story, Ready Player One, The Post.
Ready Player One was good, but that's not a source. That's not an adaptation. I mean, that's an adaptation. That's not like original.
Yeah, not for me. Bridge of Spies, Lincoln. I actually like Lincoln, but it's not a great movie. War Horse, I'd say, in 2011. That was probably his last real blockbuster movie, I would say.
Yeah, but none of those even touch close to like his first half content.
Not even nearly. So like if you so if you think his first full movie was released in 67, right? Slipstream. So what's that? That's 33 years, right?
Yeah.
So 33 years leading up to 2000. I mean, he made Artificial Intelligence in 2001. So, I mean, it was going on a downward trajectory. The last great one, I would say, within this filmography is either Catch Me If You Can in 2002 or Saving Private Ryan in 1998.
He made Catch Me If You Can.
Dude,
that's a great movie.
That's 25 years ago. Like, this guy hasn't had a relevant thing to say in 25 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's like that. That's pretty harsh, but yeah, I just think
I'm being a little harsh. There's things I liked about this film. Do you have a stupid plot summary for it?
It's like if the Jesse Matthews and Joe Rogan podcast decided that they actually wanted to make a movie, and this is what you get. It's kind of a lot more fun to talk about as a conspiracy theory on a podcast than it is to see as like a representation of a story.
Totally.
Because I love those podcasts sometimes. I love hearing about them. I love the speculation. When you put pen to pad and, you know, it's this movie, I just, it loses its appeal.
100% agree. 100% agree. I think mine is just, an old man saw a video on the internet and thought he'd make a movie out of it. That's what it felt like to me. Yeah, it felt like Steven Spielberg, probably a 70-plus-year-old man now, found the internet, went, oh, this is interesting. What are these conspiracy theory things? Spent a day just in a YouTube hole and then went, I can do this. I can come back. You know, it didn't feel like a lot of things. We're gonna talk about it. So interestingly, when I Googled this just before the show, the stupid little bird from the beginning of the film flew down onto my screen, and I was like, does that mean I'm going to be able to talk to aliens now? I was like, oh my God, maybe I'm in an alien film. There was too much going on. Too many CGI animals. What happens? Okay, let's start over then. What did you like at the top level in this film? What happens at the top level? What happens in this film?
It pretty quickly like starts into like a spy conspiracy, like literally opening slot, like shot. It's essentially a bunch of different chase sequences, because like all resulting from somebody disclosing some government secrets that shouldn't be disclosed, or some government plus corporate secrets that have been hidden from the public for 40 to 50 years, and there's a whistleblower, and that whistleblower is backed by like a number of other whistleblowers that are like kind of organized in getting this information out to the public. That's like the core of the plot.
Yeah. And there's alien dildos. There's
alien artifacts. There's
an entirely useless army force. Like there's
There was the same scene playing over like 4 or 5 times of them just being surrounded by useless men in black suits.
Yeah. So what was your cinema like for this? Did you God, I'm really trying to be nice about this film. When you saw this, what was your cinema like? Did you have a lot of people there?
More people than it was probably like 60% capacity.
Me too. Yeah. Me too. I was like, this is well over
on like a 60%. Tuesday. You know,
like, same. We went
probably made money
after opening night. Yeah, so it must have done all right. It must have done half all right, at least for the first week. It might have had a drop off after the bad word of mouth because it's got real bad word of mouth. But I did go with friend of the show Jacob, and we were both, kind of just like mesmerized by how many people were there. We were like, holy shit, this is like the fullest I've seen a cinema in ages. And frankly, we both came out of the cinema with the exact same reaction. So I think. Maybe it's people our age, Jill. Maybe people of our age thought the same thing when they were watching.
No, I think it's just like, I think it's not a good movie. And there's, and it's not a good movie, not just because of that earnesty thing. Like, I do think that plays into it, is like, he's got this like earnestness.
Make up words. Yeah. Okay.
Whatever. Yep. I mean, it's our podcast. I can say what I want. The earnestness of his portrayal of like, theme and plot, and like, I think that is a problem.
And people,
but I don't think that's the only problem. Like, meaning, like, I think that like there's other problems that are even bigger than that make this movie
100% agreed. 100% agreed. And I think that point you just made leads into. So I was texting a friend of the show, Regan, and he liked it, but he is a big Steven Spielberg person. So like he was, he
within
was
the
kind
lore
of in for whatever.
Spielberg.
Yeah, he was kind of in for whatever. And there were 3 things that I got my point down to in a succinct message. And I just sort of said, it felt dated, but like conceptually, visually, thematically, it just didn't feel like it was in touch with a modern audience. And I had a real disconnect from the movie the whole time, from the story he was trying to tell. And I didn't feel anything in this. Like, we did Close Encounters of the Third Kind recently for the pod. Go back and check out that episode. We did E.T. on No Country for Old Films, my other podcast. Go and check that out as well. The things that made me feel watching them, even Close Encounters, a film I'd never seen before, I was like, fuck yeah. This is, there was a humbleness to the filmmaking, and it was a lot of it was in camera, and a lot of it was very visually interesting. None of this was that. It was bad CGI. It was a dated idea from a dude who's clearly just past his peak. And I'm like, you know what it did? It made me feel like I now understand why Quentin Tarantino doesn't want to make that final film.
Yeah, I mean,
he doesn't
maybe
want this to be his legacy. You know what I mean?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe he's right. But I don't think he's like... the thing about Quentin Tarantino is he's not so far removed from having really, really good movies. Some of his best ones are the last 3. Like, maybe not Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That one, I still watched that again and enjoyed it. Like, I like it's that slow. Film. But like, what was the one before that?
I'm just going to look now.
If it is what I think it is, like the last 4 were pretty damn good. Like... And they are probably big breaks in between, but it's not like he's like, 5 movies deep and we've hated 4 of them, of the last 5.
Fair. Well, I mean,
I think he's still got
25 years for
I think he's
at this time.
I think he's still got a good movie in him, is my point.
All right, here you go. His last movie was 7 years ago in 2019, which was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Then it was The Hateful Eight, which I admit I don't love. But like, I see why people like it.
People do still like that one, including me, but it is not as good as other Quentin movies. So I'll give you that. Maybe the last 2 have been a bit of a drop off, but I really like that movie. I've seen it a couple times.
Then it's Django, then it's Inglourious, and then it's Death Proof. So like, Death Proof is probably the one that people don't love as much. But like, I
haven't seen that movie.
Inglourious is one of my all-time favorite films.
So like, 2 of his last 4 are just like 2 of his best.
I mean, Inglourious for me, 2009.
It's my favorite movie of it. It's in my top 3.
Easily. Yeah. Well, let's go through them all. It's only 10. Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown, Kill Bill 1, Kill Bill 2, Death Proof, Inglourious, Django, Hateful Eight, Once Upon a Time. So, I mean, Reservoir Dogs has got to be in there, right? Like, that's got to be top 3. That's an all-timer. I do love Pulp Fiction. I think Jackie Brown's the underrated one. I think that's the one that's better.
I got
than
halfway
people.
through that one and I didn't love it, but I bought
great.
it so I can always watch it.
Go back and check it out. I think Kill Bill 1's better than Kill Bill 2. I don't know. Inglourious is definitely in there for me. Django's in there, and probably Pulp Fiction or Reservoir Dogs. One of those two.
Both of those are really great movies. Okay, so back to the one in hand.
Why are we talking about another director? That's how bad this film is.
Point being, so let me start with this. What did you like about the movie?
Look, I'm gonna flip that question. So what I normally love about Spielberg films is the sense of wonder and the awe and the spectacle he creates. He just has a way of creating from lighting and in-camera effects and getting great performances out of people, all of those things. But it just didn't have any of that. It had, let's just talk to the cats. It had Emily Blunt, Josh O'Connor, Coleman Domingo's in there. Colin Firth's a bad guy? Like, what? The most boring
I actually loved his acting, though. I think him and Emily, he dove in, dude. He dove in. They didn't give him much. But for the first half of the movie where it was just like him being like him, I didn't mind it. Emily Blunt, great performance for what she was given. Honestly, great performance for what she was given. She was very charismatic. Very without her in this movie, it is a fucking disaster.
With her in this movie,
it already is. So it's like a pile of shit. I'm being honest. Imagine it without her.
I don't love her, even in this, not in this. I just
don't like
Josh
her
O'Connor,
that much.
Right? Did you see Wake Up Dead
he
Man?
He was useless.
The latest. I really can't deal with him as an actor either. So perhaps it's just the actors that have been chosen for this film outside of Coleman Domingo. I'm not there with it. I'm not loving it. But what did you like in this film? You've asked me what I liked. What did you like in this film?
You didn't say one thing you liked.
I didn't.
You didn't like anything. I didn't. So I think that it's only fair to give Emily Blunt credit that she was pretty charismatic, and the humor moments were the only things that saved, got me through this movie. And her she was very, very energetic and what's the word?
She was there. For? She was in the film.
She was enthusiastic. Her performance was quite believable as someone who's I got to go do this thing. I have no idea why I have to do it. I believed that. And I think I think if you have another actress in this film, it's even worse than it already is. Everything else,
people could do it better. There's certainly people who could do it better. Off the top of my head, Amy Adams. I feel like she did a great job of that in Arrival. Yeah,
Arrival. It's a more serious movie. This was a goofy movie. They're talking to fucking.
Did you think
animals.
It was goofy?
Yes. This is a goofy movie. I think it's not even she made it goofy. The script is goofy. You have to have this lighthearted comedy to it. Otherwise, it would be a complete disaster. It already was, but you get my point.
Speaking of the cast, here's something I liked in this film. Coleman Domingo. I've said his name 4 times because I really like his name. Coleman Domingo. It sounds like he should be some sort of cocktail you have on a desert island.
That's a great point.
He's a highlight of this film. You know what I mean? He's great in everything he's done. He was great in that crap Running Man movie we watched that Edgar Wright did. We were talking about him just a second ago. I found him a real highlight in this, but he was so underutilized. He was sort of so the story of this film is that Josh O'Connor and Emily Blunt's characters, who we have no idea what they were called because they were so unlikable, they're on a path to find each other without knowing who each other are. They just know they have to find each other. And Coleman Domingo is part of the conspiracy theorists that you were talking about in the background, who is trying to bring them together for reasons we are not sure about till the end of the film. And he's part of this secretive thing that's happening that you don't know what it is. And he's just sort of guiding them. And he's in the background, he's a man on the phone. He's a man on the laptop. And sure, he can do that great. But he is so much better than that. He would have been a great villain in this. He would have been infinitely better than Colin Firth in this. Infinitely. I found Colin Firth. He wasn't imposing. He wasn't scary. He wasn't layered. I feel like you either have to be if you're a villain, you have to be interesting, or you have to be fucking scary. And he was neither. He was just a wet fish. He was just his character from Bridget Jones.
I didn't mind him. I thought he was
giving-
I thought it was interesting how they portrayed him as like they tried to give him a background that like didn't work because they gave him no time, despite how long the movie was. But I did like his maniacal, like there's almost like a dogmatic belief in like I'm the one that has to control this, and I believed it from his performance.
Yeah.
I
kind of that was
to be honest, like how much can you give the guy? Like he's just doing that dive thing every time. Cool concept, by the way.
Yeah.
Probably one of the better concepts in the movie.
Yeah, that the alien tech allowed him to dive into someone else's consciousness. That was really interesting. I agree. The challenge I had with that was that the incompetence of the armed forces that are at his disposal was just completely baffling. Like the guy they're trying to catch is like 5 meters away from you, not being particularly quiet.
Steals the car, no,
and just it's completely baffling. And you're just like. It's like, you know what it was like? It was like there were NPCs in video games. You know what I mean? They would just they would just do that walk backwards and forwards.
An early
like
2000s video game, yeah.
Yeah, like not even a good one. It was just baffling to me. So like the thing that really frustrated me about the villains were that even though they could easily find these two people from the diving that they were trying to find, that's Josh O'Connor's character and whomever his girlfriend is in the film, totally forgotten. Sorry, don't care. Even though they could find them super easy, they just keep fucking up because they were so useless. You wouldn't employ those guys. You just wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't. It wouldn't be that. They wouldn't last. Yeah. Well, or you would. I mean, think about what happened with whether you believe it to be a conspiracy or not, the Trump assassination attempt.
Oh yeah.
Maybe there are just incompetent people in these government organizations that no one can audit and no one can do anything about because
strong
how would you get better if no one can ever tell you anything? We couldn't actually monitor that roof because it was a sloped roof. What the fuck does that mean? Anyway, point being, yeah, I agree. It's tough. It's a tough watch. It's a tough watch. But to be fair, they're a private company, aren't they? They're not even government, so they should.
Yes, and I was going to say that. So there's an interesting documentary, and I'm trying to remember what it was called. It's The Age of Disclosure. Have you heard about it?
That's the one I want to watch after this.
Right.
I've heard of it.
Okay, right. So we watched that recently on the recommendation of one of my partner's friends, and fascinating, really interesting. Go away and check it out because it gives credence to some of the interesting parts of this. So like, this alien technology is with a non-government agency. And you're like, why would that be? Surely the government would own that. So the way the government gets around some of its own rules, and you'll find this out when you watch the documentary. It
contracts out.
It contracts these things out. But then the person who contracted that out, being part of a government cycle, moves off. The next person sort of has a vague idea what it is. And it goes on and on and on. 30, 40 years later, like nobody knows who knows what and why and where, and it's all then owned by these corporations, probably now tech corporations. And it's just a fascinating insight into how this type of organization could have come to own this alien technology, and
or at the very least, be in control of it. Yeah, at the very least, be in control of it. That's a very believable. I think that's a very believable concept. And I think my problem with this
that's what they say happened. Yeah.
Yeah. My problem with this story is that they canonize a bunch of things that don't need to be canonized as what happened. Like you could have kept it way more vague, and then I'm more in mentally. Like you don't have to make it like everything was so prescriptive. And the idea that there is some entity, we don't know what it is, monitoring nuclear, and it pulls back the earnestness of Steven Spielberg being like, we don't know what it is. You get to and that's the debate. But the age of disclosure is that. Well, I guess we can't talk about it for now. I'll keep it at the end of spoilers. But there's a way to make this movie that's less prescriptive, less canonized of crazy conspiracy theories, and equally interesting because the whole point I think should be how does society respond? If it and there's going to be two interpretations 100%. Of this, one that's good, one that's bad, and investigating how that. The world responds to that those two competing ideas is I think where the movie should go, and they didn't
hold that thought because that's going to be a big point when we get to spoilers. You're absolutely right. An interesting thing you talked about canonizing things about aliens and stuff. We talked about on our last episode, we talked about Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and I didn't realize that a lot of the stuff in that is in the Alien canon. So, like, we were making fun of the ending of that when you see spoilers for this film from the 70s. The different aliens coming out. Then there's the little ones. Then there's the big ones. So apparently all that's canon. So like the little ones, for example, they're supposed to be like the pilots. So they're like, I think they're just supposed to be.
Yeah, but did he canonize this, or was this lore that he then made into a movie?
I'm
so
saying I think this was lore that he made into a movie. So I think he basically just did the same thing with this. Yes, pretty much. Now my question to you then is, and we've sort of been building ish towards this, is, do you think the moment for this film has passed?
I don't think it's passed. I think the moment for I think the moment for this film that he made, maybe, and his take has passed. I think the moment for this film and the content that's in it is ripe for the current stage. So what this film tried to do and didn't was like make a story about the result and the impact of a lack of trust in government, like on society. Like they could, that diving into that hole and like making a good story. Actually, the world is ripe for that, and investigating the truth about like certain things and why, how much of that distrust is just corruption and how much of that distrust is actual lie, and like how do we move past it, or will we never? And what does that mean? Like, I think that's the story you try and tell. Instead, we got like, I don't really know what we got. We got like a kind of like a D-list kind of action chase that doesn't really investigate either of those things effectively, and like tries to say that we're going to get into spoilers, so I can't. But I don't think we got either of those things. But to answer your question, I think there's a concept of the movie that exists that is perfect for this time. That's not what this was, though.
Right, and to go back to your original point about Spielberg and his almost childish wonder in films, like I don't think that resonates with audiences. And this source material, they don't mix. And I don't. So I think the earnest movie that he's trying to make, it's 30 years too late. It's 20 years too late. You know what I mean? Like it's not, totally. And it's not even just him as a filmmaker been out of date. I think it's the idea for the movie. Like all that stuff has been out for like, when were the UFO files released 5 years ago? It's like, come on, dude. Like even that's late. You know what I mean? I'm like, come on. But yeah, I completely get where you're going with that. Do you have anything else to say before we jump spoiler-ish?
I mean, like there were some cool camera shots. I mean, Steven Spielberg, he's going to be able to like pull some stuff like that off. But
something, yeah.
I think I really liked the idea of diving. I liked the initial like mystery, and then after like about 30 minutes, I was kind of like, oh, this is like after the first, like pretty much after they launched the car off the cliff. Like I was already kind of falling down with it.
Nonsense.
But like I was already falling down with it right around there because it's like, how are these guys so bad? But then post that it got pretty bad.
I think I've just kind of summed up in my brain what my problem with this film is, and it kind of relates back to what you were saying. I think the themes this movie was aiming for don't align with what the film actually delivers. Does that make sense?
Totally.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that in spoilers.
100%. All right, quickly then. So can you guess for me the current IMDb score for this?
5. That's probably too low. Maybe, actually, no. 5.2.
It's a Spielberg. You got to give it. It's going to get so
5.5.
6.7. You're in the region I was thinking, not where the
so kind.
I think if you think about like Friend of Show Reeks, for example, like there are people who will back Spielberg regardless. Like people who grew up with it, who are just obsessed with him.
Yeah, but that's
I think he's going to get back. Well, guess for the Rotten Tomatoes then.
48.
79. And I'm like, that's it. Like, and sorry, so I watched this maybe 2.5 weeks ago, and I've had all that time to digest it and get my head, and it's gotten worse in my opinion. Like the more I've thought about it, like you can tell probably from my
I don't want to watch it again.
No, not at all. All right, okay, so I guess for then finally the Letterboxd score then, which is always 3.6 but never 3.6.
I mean, that's got to be, I've been going low, but 2.9. I'll be kind.
Oh, you're very close. It's a 3.1. I was like, okay. I thought you had it then for a second. I was like, he's gonna get it. I think that's pretty low. All right then. So what we do now is do our rating system, which is this better or worse than the most average movie we know?
Fuck, this is actually a hard one.
And why? Yeah, it's been a while since we've had a worse. I'll tell you that. Jeez.
I mean,
the internet's binary. You've got to say one way or the other. You can't have a middle ground.
It's so interesting because, like, I find the content more interesting to me. The execution terrible.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's like Aquaman's kind of the opposite. Like, I could give a fuck. The execution's mediocre. I don't really know. I think it might be marginally better, but it's probably a tough take.
Yeah, I've had a visceral response being like, I really do not like this film for a long time.
Yeah.
And this is one of those films. Like, it's not that it's not that it's bad. Like, technically, I'm sure it's fine. You know, like, there's too much digital effects. The CGI animals are fucking awful. The ending is bullshit. We're going to talk about it in a second. I would rather watch Aquaman than watch this again. If you gave me the option of the two films, you know what? Even friend of the show Jacob asked me that question, and I was like, Aquaman.
But that's your choice, worse. Man. That's your. I know. Yeah, fair enough.
That's just where Steven Spielberg is at right now. Let's do brief spoilers then. So I just said the ending is bullshit, and it is bullshit. So like this film is called Disclosure Day, and you expect that they're going to disclose all these things, and to an extent they do. So a lot of the chase scene is around Josh O'Connor. Is that his name? Did I say that wrong before? Josh O'Connor's character trying to get the USBs of the alien things they're trying to disclose out into the world so that people can see it, while Coleman Domingo tells him to calm down. And they do that, and then just as they're about to give this message, the film stops because they wheel out a geriatric alien that whispers something to Emily Blunt and Josh O'Connor in its wheelchair. It's a fucking literal wheelchair and a Michael Jackson bubble, and it wheels them out and he says something to them both, and she stands on camera and she goes, "Listen," and it just stops, and I'm like, what are we doing here? Stupid. This is horse shit. And
it's not even the worst part of it, but yeah.
Viscerally
it was so
angry.
Absurdist at that point. Like, I was already clocked out. But okay, like, I remember seeing that and be like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Here's the thing I liked. I liked the fact that that
they were thinking about their elderly care of aliens. We can't figure it out for humans. But you know what we can do? We can sort it out for extraterrestrials.
Money.
For sure. Yeah.
The thing I did actually like was, so like Josh and Emily Blunt have been chosen by aliens, probably probed, to be their mouthpieces to the rest of society when they were kids, and then they had to grow up and find each other again.
Cool concepts.
I liked the concept that they're different parts of the mechanism to confer what the aliens translate. Want to say.
Right. Yeah. That was interesting.
One can hear the aliens, and one has a platform and has the weird fucking magic, whatever she had.
Can just understand math.
I kind of liked
really well.
But that's cool concept. The bit where the kids were being abducted, I was like, what are we doing here, man? Like, what the fuck?
It's fine, but like, that didn't give me the vibe that they were out. They were like, for helping us, you know, like it gave conflicting vibes. It gave conflicting vibes.
Empathy was the message, right? Like, the whole point was have empathy for each other. And kidnapping two kids doesn't scream empathy to me. That screams Epstein's Island. Maybe that's where the geriatric alien's been for the last 50 years. Who knows?
Yeah, honestly, there was just a lot of misses there. I get what he was trying to say. It's like they had, like, maybe they had to do this, like maybe that, but like they didn't really say that. They didn't have time for it. I don't know.
They had time. It was a 2.5 hour movie.
Yeah, it's not the movie I would have made to have to explore this world.
Yeah, how would you have made it better?
Well, first of all, I think disclosure happens way earlier. It happens at the last 10 minutes of the film. The whole exciting concept to explore here is not the fact that, like, not the multiple chase scenes where they're surrounding multiple buildings,
and failing.
Yeah, and like doing things where it's like, you really don't need to just like turn the power off to like block this. There's like so many other things you could do if you had all, like, at first just some basic plot holes, right? Like that it's like, figure this out.
Oh yeah, apparently those alien dildos can also power the building as well.
put it on the internet. Why are we making this? Why are we making this entire movie about broadcasting from a newsroom? No, that you'd basically only get 60,000 viewers. Like what?
Literally, you wouldn't even get that.
It's legacy media. Like
it's so bad.
That was just a shocking gap in this movie. It's like, how did nobody tell Spielberg, like, bro, you got to rewrite this part?
I watched the Honest trailer for this, and I fucking love the Honest trailer guy. He's one of my
he would
absolute
slay
favorites.
this.
And there's a bit where he's like, and how are we going to get the message out to everyone? And he's like, broadcast television. He's like, really? And he's like, I saw an ad outside my building that says it's the only channel that tells the truth. And he's like, that's an advert. I was like, that's so, like, fucking nobody would see this. Like, they're being like, oh yeah, they're putting it into New York and they're putting it into all these feeds. And it's like, no, they fucking wouldn't. Everyone would be like, that's AI, that's CGI, that's bullshit. It looked bad as well. Oh, here's the thing. The only note I made walking out the cinema was, fuck me, aliens crash a lot. I was like, all the footage that they released was just aliens and crash sites. And I'm like, if they're that, they can't be that technologically advanced because they're crashing all the time. Like, surely
it just made me believe in aliens less, dude. Same. To be honest, because like so many of these stories, like you're just like, if that actually did happen, it's just like, it would get out. It would get out.
I mean, I still believe they are covering shit up, genuinely. But
I just don't know.
I also think
little green men, bro.
I wonder if it's that thing that we talked about this last time, right? Like, are they sharing these things so that we're desensitized to it? So when it eventually does happen, or what, you know what I mean? Like, when it comes out that this is all true, we're all like, oh yeah, cool. Like, could you get behind that as a theory?
Psyop.
Yes.
Get behind that as a theory. I think like there's a much more like interesting movie. To my point was like, Disclosure Day happens earlier. It happens in a more natural way. Like there's debates of like if it's real or not, and maybe that's like a storyline you can investigate. I think the more interesting storyline to investigate is like how this impacts the world and how the world responds, and maybe there's multiple interpretations of what's happening, and one of them is like quite dark and dire, like we are an experiment, we're living in a civil, like something that like really cooks our understanding of ourselves and our place,
our beliefs,
and another that's like more earnest, and like what does society do with that is such a more interesting concept, and making the alien or the extraterrestrial or the whatever you want to call it almost unknowable.
UAPs. Like
making it like not this fucking green man where I'm like, you're either into that you're either into that or you're not.
It's Mr. Burns.
You know what I mean? You're either into that or you're not. And I guess like you got to make it a little bit more vague and unfathomable, in my opinion.
I completely agree. I just think there's so many missed opportunities in this film. There's so much that is half-baked, quarter-baked, like ideas that have been clearly seen on YouTube. I'm like, guys, what are we doing? Let me just quickly see before we do trivia, true or false, if this made money. Did Disclosure Day make money? Interesting. Disclosure Day grossed $358 million worldwide on a $132 million domestic, bringing it well past $102 million production budget. Oh, $102 million production budget. That's not bad at all. I mean, so it made money. I wonder though, what was the Disclosure Day drop off? 62%. Oh, that's not good. Jesus.
I don't know what good is, but
anything over 50% is real bad. But then saying that Toy Story 5 did come out that weekend, which was always going to make $1 billion. So I get it. Like I
saw it and it was great.
Really? Okay. I haven't even seen 4, so that's good news.
Saw it was
I think
great.
We talked about this. Okay. Yeah. Anything final in spoilers you want to say other than you were massively disappointed with this film?
I mean, like the animal thing, like what the fuck? There's just garbage. Like, so we didn't talk about it, but there's just so many random things.
I like the idea. I didn't like the execution. So the idea was that aliens, to present themselves to humans, came basically transfigured our brains using our psychology to present as animals, right? Which are less harmful than seeing a fucking
which we can't
little green man
speak to. So that makes sense.
Which is confusing, but everyone follows them all the time. And they're really bad CGI ones. Like, I'm not saying get a bird on set, but I'm saying, I don't know, try anything. Like, it just looks bad.
I liked the concept of like her just like suddenly speaking Russian and doing the clicking noises.
Yeah, I kind of like that
was
too.
All really cool. That was cool, but then it like faded off pretty quickly.
I think she learned Korean for that scene as well, because I think it was a one taker. I think she learned some Korean for that.
I'm telling you,
conversation.
she's good. She did great. Her husband was pretty funny too. Like that would be your reaction.
Yeah,
you know, you'd just be like,
"You okay?
Go back to the hospital. You're having a stroke." Yeah.
That's how I felt coming out of this film.
I think generally speaking, like there were some good little comedy moments, but the plot just kind of overwhelmed.
I think it's 2% to a 98%. Not great. Let's do a little bit of trivia, true or false, to finish up. Yeah, you ready? You ready?
I'm ready.
Trivia, true or false, DL, for Disclosure Day. The footage of President Nixon meeting with Jackie Gleason from the end of the film is actually based on real conspiracies. Is that true or is that false?
That is true. I know about that.
It is true. Gleason was apparently obsessed with UFOs and their lore. Purportedly, Nixon wanted to impress him by showing him alien artifacts, and they were in the government's possession, so he took him to show the alien bodies. That is fascinating. Like, such a weird like thing that you'd never expect from like a president to just be that needy. Like, I need this guy's approval. So
that's
strange.
why if that is the case, that is why they took away the privilege of the president, and now they don't know shit.
They know nothing.
Now it's in a
they don't know nothing.
Lockdown. Yeah.
Okay, trivia, true, false, DL. Which of these actors was considered for a cameo, but was eventually cut because Steven Spielberg didn't want the movie to be an explicit sequel to Close Encounters of the Third Kind? Was it A, Roy Richard Dreyfuss, B, Claude Franz Truffaut, C, Gillian, who's Melinda Dillon, or D, all of the above?
The French guy.
It's actually a surprise answer, E, which is none of them. I don't know. It's just none of them.
That's cheating.
Surprise!
Okay. Fair enough. I've been
big spoilers for this one. If we're putting this on a reel, so big spoilers, spoiler time. At the end of the film, where the alien videos, there's a clip of the Devil's Tower from Steven Spielberg's Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Is that true or is that false?
That'd be cool. True. Why not? Throw it in.
It is true. It's also where the aliens landed as part of the bigger conspiracy in this here film. Final piece of trivia, true or false, for Disclosure Day, DL. When Steven Spielberg originally approached John Williams to provide the score, Williams suggested 4 other composers to take the job. Is that true or is that false?
It's true, I think, and the score was good. JW
was good. Williams retired a long time ago from scoring films, but Steven Spielberg insisted, so he finally agreed. Ultimately, I think our feelings are pretty obvious about this film. I did not get the wonder of a Spielberg film. I did not love the digital effects. The story was pretty bland and dated. I just think I expected more from Steven Spielberg. I think I've lost the love.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah,
I'm in the same boat.
Times.
I think there's better directors out there now, and we just got to pass the torch. You know,
there's people with actual visions and actual stories to tell. You know, I want to see those, not whatever the fuck this is. DL, do you want to wrap up the show, my friend?
Yeah, give us a rating on any of your podcast thing of choice. We're on most of them, Spotify especially. Podcast Assemble at Gmail, or on Instagram, or thepodcastassemble@gmail.com.
Right, guys, he got it right.
What else can I say? Thanks for sticking in.
Thank you to Ava.
Thank you. Yeah, I was going to say Ava Ramshaw at avaramshaw.com for editing and mastering this week's episode, doing all that good stuff.
Making us look great, making us not look like grey aliens. Because I mean, right now, pretty grey over there, Dio. You kind of look a little bit dead.
Like one. Yeah.
The geriatric one that gets rolled out in this.
Just fucking dead alien.
We appreciate you and thank you everyone for sticking with it. DL, tally ho, baby.
Tally ho.